You may have heard that President Trump is handling things a little differently than his predecessor. That is the most evident when we're talking about immigration. I mean, you've heard it, right? That the border, the policies are changing under President Trump. And so specifically what we're going to talk about is somebody who's charged with a criminal offense or traffic ticket, and they're not a U.S. citizen, right? That is a term that is now called crimmigration. Yeah, see, I'm trying. Crimmigration. It's a combination of criminal and immigration, right? So that's what we're going to talk about here because it is absolutely something we're dealing with, something we're getting questions on a lot for our clients who are charged and they are not U.S. citizens. Doesn't matter. They could be DACA. They could be asylum seekers. They could have no status or be undocumented or illegal. Whatever term you personally are using, we hear all of them. Whatever term you want to use, they have some concerns about how this traffic or criminal case is going to affect them. That's what we're diving into. I have to be a lawyer first and foremost, and I will give you my lawyer speak. I am not an immigration attorney, okay? I am a criminal defense attorney, DUIs, traffic tickets, other types of criminal cases. That is what we do basically 24/7 here. It intersects very, very much right now with immigration law and immigration policy. But immigration is not specifically what I do. So if you are charged with a criminal offense and you have immigration concerns, absolutely, without a doubt, seek out an immigration attorney and ask them your specific questions. In fact, my best advice is to have a criminal defense attorney who is willing to talk with your immigration attorney about your situation. That's the best of both worlds. That's how we operate. That's actually what we require at our law firm of our clients, and we have those conversations all the time. Now, with that being said, let's get into some of the detail. So, is a traffic ticket going to trigger ICE to come after you? No. But right now, we're not seeing that at all. Like, the traffic ticket doesn't shine an extra spotlight on you. It doesn't put you higher on a list for removal. The traffic ticket is just a traffic ticket. But a more complete answer is that under Trump's policy, they don't need anything additional, right? They don't need anything additional. The mere fact that you are here without status or undocumented or illegally, as they say, that in and of itself is enough to begin the removal process, right? So the traffic ticket is sort of inconsequential, separate and apart from this. That is different, though, for criminal cases. DUIs, every single immigration attorney I talk to has said that, for a DUI, unless someone's like hit and killed or seriously injured, normal run-of-the-mill traffic, or DUI rather, is kind of being categorized like a traffic ticket, right? Like they're not prioritizing you more because you got this DUI. But criminal offenses, especially violent criminal offenses or crimes still of what they call moral turpitude, right? It goes to the morality, like theft. That is still something that can sort of bump you up on the list, right? And again, this is all sort of unofficial. Not only am I not an immigration attorney, but I also, don't work for ICE. I don't know how they're prioritizing this. But yes, I think you should be more worried about, them coming after you, if you will, if it's a serious criminal offense of moral turpitude or violent crime. Less so for DUIs and traffic tickets. In fact, there's no spotlight being shined on DUIs and traffic tickets to my knowledge. So another question we get a lot is like, how will my current status be affected, right? And so there's a bunch of different immigration statuses, right? You can be totally undocumented on one end, you can be a U.S. citizen on the other, and there's a whole bunch of things in between, right? And so that status really, really matters, and there are many, and that's why we say you should talk to an immigration attorney. But let me give an example. DACA. DACA is a huge one. I know that for a fact because we've represented a number of people with DACA status, and a criminal offense, including a DUI, can absolutely affect their DACA status. So again, we're going to sort of handle that one way versus somebody who is completely undocumented versus somebody who maybe is seeking asylum versus, of course, somebody who's a U.S. citizen. Those are all going to be maybe approached or handled differently by our law firm, and that's going to be in accordance with what your immigration attorney is saying is an acceptable outcome, which one's not. So we really need to sort of triangulate a couple different things, which is your status, and sort of what you want to happen, and the facts of your case, right? All need to sort of get sorted out together to reach the optimal outcome for you. And the optimal outcome for you is dependent upon what your status already is here in this country. So a lot of people ask, do I need an immigration attorney? Do I need like a traffic and criminal defense attorney? What's going on here? And my answer, I'm sorry, is both. And I know that can cost you more money. There are ways to sort of lessen that, but the answer is both. I do not trust a criminal defense attorney who's, out there prescribing what everyone should do for all their immigration. Like, that's not what you're hearing in this video. I'm literally telling you it depends very much. And so talk to an immigration attorney. I also don't trust an immigration attorney who's dealing with everything that they have to deal with these days, and also prescribing how to handle a criminal case, right? There is crossover here, but they do not perfectly align. I have seen immigration attorneys who representing clients who have immigration issues, and they also say, oh yeah, let me go handle your criminal case too. And that's a very bad look, right? It's the same reason you wouldn't want a foot doctor doing your brain surgery, right? This is 2025, guys. You can find a subject matter expert, or somebody who focuses on a certain subject for pretty much everything on earth these days. It is very, very true in the law today as well. So the best thing to do is to get a criminal defense attorney to defend you in criminal or traffic court, and have an immigration attorney to handle those issues. And if those two are talking, then everything should be sort of hunky-dory, right? And so that's actually what we require of our clients. In fact, we have a number of immigration attorneys here that we recommend. We put them in touch. We'll help have a consultation. And so we will continue to stay in touch with that immigration attorney as the case progresses. So that is without a doubt the most, this should be painfully obvious, but that is without a doubt the best thing that you can do. And it doesn't actually have to cost a ton. There are even a 20-minute consultation with an immigration attorney when it is done the right way, right? When it's done with your criminal defense attorney, your criminal defense attorney is laying out the facts of the case, and this is a possible option, this is a possible option, this is a possible option. Which one of these and how will these affect immigration? It can be a really productive 20-minute conversation that doesn't cost you anything or very little, and you've got the answers to your questions. So that's how we prefer to operate for our clients who are charged with criminal offenses or DUIs, you name it. So a question that we get is like, am I going to get deported? Am I going to get removed? And so I have to acknowledge, like, obviously, I don't know. I don't know. You can just be unlucky in some sense. There are tons of stories out there over these last few weeks of, ICE knocking on the wrong door, right? Or stopping a car, and you didn't even do anything wrong, just a passenger in a car, or whatever the issue is. If you do not have legal status here and you come across ICE, yes, you run that risk, absolutely. But I think the more specific question that people are asking is like, am I going to be targeted? Are they going to come get me because of this? We talked a little bit about that in context of like traffic and non-serious offenses. We talked about that in more serious offenses. But now let's talk about like where we're seeing ICE. And it is really dependent from state by state, county by county. I have criminal defense attorney friends in other states, Texas, Florida, who, if you get arrested on even just a misdemeanor, they just bring you to the police station on a misdemeanor offense, and you do not have legal status here, they're taking you away. some scary stuff. In other places, like here in Illinois, we are not seeing that. Chicago's a sanctuary city. Illinois has done a lot to protect people here who, despite whatever their status is. And so we're not seeing that. They're not crawling around the courthouses right now trying to find people, stopping people. We're not seeing that. Now they might. I've heard stories of them, waiting outside the jail to pick people up. I've heard stories of them waiting outside court to pick up specific people. Again, that's typically people charged with, more serious crimes or something. But we're not seeing a ton of that right now. That's subject to change, of course. We've got no control over that. But my best advice is not only to get yourself an immigration attorney who's excellent, get yourself a criminal defense attorney who's excellent, but also handle your matter. The best possible thing you can do is to get a good outcome on your case, right? To make your case go away whenever possible. That is going to, solve a lot of this.